Hello everybody, my name is Robbie and this is Wonder Frame. Here we are in Tokyo. This is our second day. The first day I did not vlog anything because we were just finding ourselves around the city and we were trying to figure out how to do stuff. It wasn't that big of a deal. Also, at some point we had a guide to show us around and to get ourselves the main tickets that we will need later on this trip. This will be a 2 weeks long trip. This second day, we went to Asakusa already. We are here in Asakusa and we went to visit the Sensoji temple. After this, in about 30 minutes, we will have a river cruise on the Sumida River. We will go to the Odaiba island. On Odaiba, we will walk around and check out the island and what's there. I know that there is a huge Gundam robot and a few more interesting stuff. But yeah, probably this is the plan. I hope you will like my first travel video basically, because I've never ever done this before. So yeah, enjoy. So in Romania, we left for the airport a day earlier. Since we live about 6 hours away, I didn't want to risk missing a flight or any issues during the road trip and stuff like that. I stayed at an Airbnb. The next day, we flew from Bucharest to Doha. At Doha, we had about 4.5 hour layover at Hamad International Airport, which is actually pretty cool to explore. You need to see the orchard and all the shops and everything in there. It's really an amazing place. Then 10 hours later, we landed in Tokyo. Picked up our portable Wi-Fi router, which I highly recommend you do too. It's really useful if you are with a group, instead of everybody having to pay for a eSIM card for having unlimited internet. And from there, we navigated our way to the train station to get to the hotel. By the time we arrived at the hotel, it was around 8 or 9 p.m. We did not have any energy left, so it was just the check-in and a conbini quick shop to eat some dinner and then back to bed. On our first real day, we met with our first guide. Our guide was Sabina, who was really awesome. She helped us figure out the train system and got us set up with tickets for our upcoming travels. We explored Shibuya, Shinjuku, Meiji Jingu, saw the 3D cat Godzilla and learned some facts about Japan and its people. Then the next 2 days we followed a loose plan, visited Sensoji, crowded but worth it. As a first impression of Tokyo, it's busy. I'm not really used to cities like this big and this busy, too many people. At least here in Asakusa at the Sensoji temple it was a bit much, and this is after the Golden Week. It means that this is the lower number of people. So yeah, I can't imagine how is it like when it's the Golden Week and it's full packed of people that you can't even move. Otherwise, it's really nice. It's really clean. The food is good. I can't say I've tried too many stuff yet, but the ones that I tried until this point, they are pretty good. The best was the one ramen that we tried yesterday in the evening in Shinjuku. This is my crew. Say hi. Took a Sumida River cruise to Odaiba, checked out the mini Statue of Liberty, and went up to the Fuji TV building for epic views. This building has a big globe in the middle, and when you go up, it's around the 45th floor or the 40th floor. I can't remember exactly, but the view from there is amazing. And also, without planning for it, we arrived there like 10 minutes before closing, so nobody was there. Besides the workers, we had the whole place for ourselves. After that, we exited the place right at closing time and we went onwards to see the Gundam statue, which is a massive statue. It's huge. And it's totally worth seeing. Even if you're not a fan of Gundam, like I'm also not, but this statue is really something. Finish the day with snacks and shopping at the 7-Eleven next to our hotel. Pro tip, try the egg sandwiches. They are really good. On the next day, we started our trip towards Kyoto, and this trip had a one-night stop in Yamanouchi for a traditional onsen experience. But before arriving to Yamanouchi, we stopped at Nagano because we had a little bit of time between arriving and the bus departing. We decided to go to see the Zenkoji temple and also to walk around Nagano if we were there, which was really nice. The whole place had a really relaxing vibe and I really liked it. The temple was also really nice. But with all of this, we ended up missing our bus and we did not have any other possible solutions to get up to the snow monkeys besides taking a taxi, which was a bit expensive because we had to go around 38 kilometers. So we ended up spending around 100 euros for the trip, although this was split in 4. Then we arrived at the starting point of the trail towards the snow monkeys. This mountain trail was a really beautiful one. It went through a forest basically for the most part, and then at the end we got to the Jigokudani Yaenkoen snow monkey park. Here we saw the adorable monkeys. They were all over the place. Paid a small entry fee, from which point we saw even more monkeys, but they were not bathing because it is at this time of the year is not cold enough, so they don't bathe in the hot onsen. After we finished at the snow monkey park, we went back with a local bus to Yamanouchi and checked in at our hotel. We're kindly showed to our rooms, which were traditional Japanese rooms with tatami floor and a futon bed. We had green tea prepared. After that, we went to a specific room where they awaited us with a traditional dinner. This dinner consisted mostly of seafood. So if you're not a seafood lover, only about 30% of the meal was non-seafood stuff. But nonetheless, it was really delicious. I really liked almost everything from the menu. After we finished our dinner, we went and used the hot spring onsen that this ryokan had. It was a really nice onsen and it was open 24/7. The next day, we went onwards to Kyoto, and despite us following the plan quite well, we only lost about 10-15 minutes at buying some tickets for one of the upcoming trains towards Osaka, but still we missed the opening hours for visiting Kinkakuji, which was in the itinerary for this day. The temple basically closes at 5 p.m. and we got there 10 minutes before 5, so they did not let us in. So we went to the hotel to check in and to find a nice restaurant to eat something. Kind of a wasted day. We made up for it and visited Kinkakuji later anyway. So the next day we had a guide, Andre, who was super energetic and shared tons of info about temples, culture and history. Honestly, I forgot most of it, but it was fascinating at the time, so it was really nice to have a guide. We visited a bunch of shrines, temples, Ghibli shop, Kiyomizu-dera and shopping streets. Planned to explore Gion but rained at the end of the day, so it was postponed. We did not skip it though, and right before parting with Andre, he recommended good and cheap sake. Basically, you head to a 7-Eleven and search for Daiginjo. I found it in multiple sizes, one which is about 300 milliliter and it costs about 300 to 400 yen, so it's really not that expensive and it was really good, and it was better than almost any sake from any restaurant that we had until that point. And for those who like a bit more sweeter taste, try choya. Not technically a sake, but it is really delicious as well. The next day, we visited Hiroshima's atomic bomb dome, the monuments around, and the memorial park. Hiroshima is a really peaceful place, but knowing the history and the silence of the people there is quite a really interesting mashup with the peaceful environment, and it adds a layer of really weird emotion. We checked out the whole park and everything you need to see there, but we did that quite quickly. Then we hopped over to Miyajima Island to see the floating torii gate, although check the tide schedule before you go there. We went during low tide because, stupid us, we did not check the tide schedule, which was from early morning to late evening low tide. So we missed the floating effect. Nonetheless, the place is still beautiful and it is really relaxing to walk around on the island. There are a bunch of shops and small restaurants. So the next day, we woke up really early in the morning to go to Fushimi Inari. We are here in Kyoto. Today we will be going towards Fushimi Inari, the 1000 torii gates, to take some nice photos. This is the plan for today, at least for this morning. It's 7:50 a.m. We woke up around an hour and 10 minutes ago, but this is not our style. It's not that early, so I assume there will be a bunch of people at the torii gates, so I don't know what kind of environment will await us exactly, but we will just need to go up the trail, the walking trail of Fushimi Inari to get towards the end of it, because as you go up, less and less people will be there, so probably a higher chance to get the best photo. And I know this is a cliche, but I think Fushimi Inari is most needed place to visit. So yeah, here are the guys eating breakfast. See you there. Extra tip: if you want good photos at Fushimi Inari, go early in the morning or late in the evening for better light and fewer crowds. We picked pretty wrong time of the day because the light was really harsh, and even though we tried to find more shaded places along the trail, the photos really did not come out how I wanted. A really good reason to come back another time, hopefully. First empty spot. That's something. I think we should take a few photos here. This looks kind of nice. Before going to Osaka, we also stopped in Nara to check out the deer and to walk around the city, which was also another peaceful and really nice city to walk in. We stayed there for about an hour and a half, just relaxing on the benches. We picked up the pace and went towards Osaka. We arrived in the evening and we checked in at our hotel room. The next day was a full day at Universal Studios. This day was probably one of the best days throughout the trip. I just couldn't imagine until we got here how it would be to have your favorite games and movies come to life, basically. The Super Mario World, Harry Potter Castle, Jurassic Park, the Minions, everything in this place is just mesmerizing, awesome, and it was a really nice day. Then we did 3 really interesting rides. One was, I can't remember exactly, it was about space. Then the second one was a Harry Potter one. And the third one was a Super Mario Kart ride. All 3 of them were worth the wait because everywhere you had to wait quite a lot, like between 30 and 60 minutes. We got ourselves a bunch of souvenirs: Mario hat, Mario bracelet from the Super Mario World. I got the Harry Potter's wand, We drank butterbeer. After spending the day at Universal Studios, we headed back to our hotel. The usual stuff, going to a conbini, eating dinner, and having a beer or two, and going to bed, preparing for the next day, which was a day of visiting the city itself, the big city Osaka. At the beginning, we headed towards Osaka Castle, visited the castle, which is a really impressive and large building with a really interesting history. I'm not the type of person who reads all the history stuff put around the museums and things like that, so I can't comment on the actual history of the castle. Sorry for that. After which we went to visit Denden Town, which is basically a smaller version of Akihabara from Tokyo. Basically, if you know what Akihabara is, then you know we spent a lot of money here. Denden Town, or Akihabara from Tokyo, is basically center of manga, anime, teenage stuff, and a bunch of souvenirs. So yeah, we bought in total 6 figurines. To not seem that stupid with this decision, we really found one place in Denden Town and one place in Akihabara which had really nice prices for these figurines, because they are basically second-hand shops. After we finished in Denden Town, towards the end of the day, we went to Umeda Sky, went up to the tallest point of the building to see the nice view of the city. And it was a really good decision to go there at night, because the city lights are just amazing. Stayed there for about an hour and then went back towards the hotel. The next day was supposed to be a full day at the Osaka World Expo 2025 edition, but we bought the tickets the day before, which were 50 euros, overpriced in my opinion. We did not know which pavilions to check out, so we naturally went towards our own pavilions, which was the Romanian and also Hungarian. My friends checked it out while I was waiting outside, because I did not want to wait for an hour and a half to see a small whatever presentation. I myself don't recommend going there. The second half of the day was a bit more relaxing, walking around shopping centers and stuff like that. The next day was the day that we went back to Tokyo. We had one more night in Tokyo before we were coming back home. I miss Tokyo. I miss Japan. I want to go back. But yeah, we went back to Tokyo pretty early, so we had quite a few hours left from the day to walk around Akihabara. We went directly to shopping. We bought a bunch of new figurines and souvenirs, and because we knew we had one more day, because the next day was the flight back towards Bucharest, but the flight was at 11 p.m. So we woke up, we checked out, we asked the hotel to keep our luggages until we get back around 6 p.m. and until then we started our day with Team Lab Planets. The day before the last, we went to Team Lab Borderless, which I forgot to mention. Our first experience was with the borderless version of this digital art experience, which was really nice. We really liked how they play with light and how they create illusions and stuff like that. But I think it's not worth going to see both of them, Team Lab Borderless and Team Lab Planets. Team Lab Borderless is quite a bit nicer in terms of the light play, but almost the same can be found at Team Lab Planets. And at Team Lab Planets there is more in terms of activities to do. And Team Lab Planets also has 2 extra sections named Garden and Forest, and they worth checking out. If you need to pick one of those, I would suggest going to Team Lab Planets. After Team Lab Planets, we went back to Akihabara to make the most of it and to also buy the last souvenirs we knew we might need for the rest of the people at home, and then headed towards the hotel to pick up the luggages, and then towards the airport to check in our big luggages and have enough time until the flight was coming up. And so this is the end of the video. If you are interested in knowing more about the prices in Japan and how much this trip costs us, stay tuned for the next video, because I will be making a shorter video about the prices. Also, if you saw my last video, you know that I had a specific travel bag set up that I brought with me to this Japan trip. And during this trip, I realized that this setup is not really working for me. If you want to know more about how it went and what I am changing 100% in this setup, then stay tuned for that video because that's also coming up. And then hopefully in the next period I will be going on a local hike here in Romania, so I will be documenting that as well. So yeah, bunch of stuff coming up. Hopefully you will like these videos as well, and thanks for watching. You know the jazz. Subscribe, comment, like, and see you in the next one.